This is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. An alarming exchange in the House of Representatives today revealed the true intention of Democrats when it comes to your firearms. We're going to go back and show you this back and forth and speak to the Republican who elicited this admission. But first, the real military destroyers. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Well, let's face it, the left is really good at destroying things. They destroyed education during the pandemic with all those school closures. They've destroyed respect for law enforcement. We see that all the time. They've destroyed historical markers, ripped down statues. They destroyed entire city blocks to honor George Floyd. They destroyed independent medical practices with Obamacare. They destroyed free speech on college campuses. And they're hoping to destroy the Electoral College, the filibuster, the U.S. Senate, and if we let them, the Constitution itself. So basically anything that holds traditional American ideals has to be destroyed. And now it looks like they're on the path to destroy our all-volunteer military. And as the media obsess on the fake climate change crisis, they're glossing over a real crisis: the gradual depletion of our military fighting force. And as a result, most Americans don't have a clue about how dire the situation is. So how bad is it? Well, the Army is right now short of its 60,000 soldier recruiting goal for the fiscal year by half. That's 30,000 soldier deficit. And for next year, it's expected to be even worse. Don't forget, the Army had already reduced its annual recruiting target by 5,000 because of an earlier shortfall. And yes, we've known for months the problem is occurring across all military branches. This is a complete disaster, and the White House and Congress should be working 24/7 to address this. Instead, they spend their days talking about wind power and January 6th. Where's war hawk Liz Cheney on all this? Well, late today, the Army issued a 5-page memo that tried to explain why this is happening, claiming they're in a war for talent and are in the most challenging recruiting environment since 1973.
Recruiting motivated, fit, and academically proficient men and women continues to be a challenge. Only 23% of military-age men and women in the United States are qualified to serve.
Now read between the lines, people. He seems to be saying that our potential pool of recruits is too fat, too stupid, and too unmotivated. But that's not all.
We've got unprecedented challenges with both a post-COVID-19 environment and labor market, but also competition, private competition with private companies that have changed their incentives over time.
Okay, this is absurd. Did we not have a free market for labor competition before the last few years? And as for the post-COVID-19 environment reference, the general should really have been more blunt. The vaccine mandate is definitely a factor here.
This may get even worse because the U.S. Army National Guard and Army Reserve are facing the prospect that some 60,000 of their force may not be willing to get the COVID vaccine. And if they don't get the COVID vaccine, they will not be able to be part of the active force. They will not be able to be activated and go on missions.
I mean, at least CNN did the report. I give them kudos for that. But what a nightmare. But they had to know that this would happen. The military did, and they did it anyway. Of course, don't press General Milley or Secretary Austin about any of this, because they're more worried about propping up the Ukrainian military than fixing ours.
We're going to keep moving at the speed of war. We're going to make clear that might does not make right. We're going to stand strong with our fellow contact group members, and we're going to support Ukraine's self-defense for the long haul. And we're going to defend the rules-based international order that protects us all.
Okay, there's so much to unpack there. But the speed of war? Now, they're the same people who thought that the Afghan army could hold out for a year, but of course it collapsed in just a few weeks. Their advice and analysis is consistently wrong. And under their leadership, the Russians don't fear us. Putin's grinding right through Ukraine. And the Chinese don't fear us. They're even threatening us over Pelosi's potential trip to Taiwan. And meanwhile, young Americans aren't inspired by them. So I hate to break it to the generals, but our troops don't sign up to fight for their idiotic, rules-based international order, which only basically helps China, big business, and the globalists. And has this international order that General Austin was just referencing protecting us from fentanyl or border crime or the closing of our factories or the outsourcing of our jobs? Has it stopped China from building as many coal plants as it damn well pleases? Of course not.
This is a problem with our senior leaders' inability to have a courage, their hypocrisy. It's affecting all other things. Our senior military leaders have demonstrated through action that we can't trust them. And you would be naive to think that a young American isn't getting online, going on the internet, and seeing all the missteps that we can clearly see of our senior military leaders.
Well, the fact of the matter is, in large part, our military is suffering a severe recruitment crisis because our military leadership is more focused on being woke and following Dr. Fauci than winning wars. And liberals in the House, they're totally fine with this, not surprising. In fact, they want to make the military even more radical.
We can and must do better to ensure that we continue to provide this world-class training to our female military leaders around the world. This amendment would simply require a gender analysis assessment of the program by signaling the importance of including more gender diversity in the program. This is not just important, it's smart.
Now, how worried do you think China and Russia are about their lack of a gender analysis in their military training? This is just embarrassing. Now, we see the stark change in our military identity, don't we, in the type of recruitment videos they're producing these days. Now, during Reagan and the 80s, the videos look like this.
You're reaching deep inside you, oh, things you've never known. It's been tough, rough going, but you haven't gone alone.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
All that you can
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
find your future in the army.
Don't you want to go back to the 80s? Unabashedly patriotic, totally cool. Well, this is how they recruit today.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms.
Literally. They're using cartoons. Why is having two mommies relevant at all? The answer is it's not. So that would definitely get an A as like a women's studies project, but it fails in the recruiting soldiers department. The fact is our military leadership has just rolled over for the most radical left-wing ideas out there. And within our military, including at our military academies, they're actively teaching CRT and actively promoting the trans and sexual identity agenda. After speaking with several military sources, from enlisted men to recent grads of OCS, the Angle believes that this recruitment crisis is a self-inflicted wound by the wokesters. And at some point, you do have to wonder if this is their goal, just as it's their goal to force you to suffer economic pain for their transition to clean energy. Is it their goal to destroy our all-volunteer force in order to pave the way for a smaller global force? It's 2022. We face an aggressive adversary in communist China, and our standing army is contracting as theirs is growing. In fact, it's far larger than ours is now. From Putin's merciless rampage across Ukraine to China's menacing actions near Taiwan, we already see the balance of power beginning to tip away from the U.S. But under Biden and the woke military leadership, our enemies are getting bolder and bolder by the day. Now, the entire time that Trump was in office, the military kept putting up roadblocks to the changes that he wanted to make, including the withdrawal from Afghanistan, by the way. The Pentagon, in all its arrogance, resisted President Trump every step of the way. This is how much power they have. They're almost a government unto their own. GOP members of Congress have a moral obligation right now to hold hearings, carry out investigations, and demand real reform. We love our enlisted troops and we cherish their heroic sacrifices They don't deserve this. Congress should not just keep shoveling money out the door regardless of the results. But that's exactly what they're doing. Biden asked for $802 billion for the next year defense budget. The House ended up voting to round it up to a cool $839 billion. Unreal. America is quickly moving from a position when we ask, what should we do in international affairs, to one where we ask, can we do anything? When the American taxpayers have spent trillions of dollars on our military and lost thousands and thousands of brave and selfless troops, we have a right and we have a duty to require accountability across the board. It's bad enough that Americans have lost faith in our public schools and our public health sector and our government in general, but if Americans lose faith in our military, we will be facing a grave national security threat. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.